What's your most memorable story of petty revenge? Story 1. My college roommate had a bad habit of leaving her things in piles on our bathroom floor until there was almost no space to walk to the bath or toilet. Not just clothes, but change, jewelry, decks of playing cards, knitting needles, books, hairpins, scarves, earbud phones, keys, etc. One day she left $40 scattered with a mess, so I put the money in one of her lesser used bathroom drawers. Originally I put it there to protect it from our third roommate and her friends. When I came home the next day, I noticed that she was clearing her mess in an effort to find it. I decided not to tell her where the money was until our bathroom floor was spotless. Afterwards, I decided it would be too awkward to tell the truth, so I left the money wadded up in her hamper as I found it on the floor. She was ecstatic when she found it on laundry day. After that, her bathroom piles never got quite as big. Story 2. There's a new truck in my apartment's parking lot. Always taking up multiple spots. Always. Weird angles, close to the stairs. All over the place. No assigned parking, unfortunately. Months of this. I drive a much smaller car than that, and I'm petty and passive-aggressive. I've been waiting for my chance. A few days ago was my shot. I got home quite late, and there were 0 spots open in my lot. Big truck is double parked again, but there's just enough room on the driver's side for me to sneak in there with my little clown car. I carefully pull in, making sure not to touch anything. No damage, no nothing. The passenger side mirror is half an inch from the driver's side door. I giggled to myself all the way back to my apartment and set alarm and waited. The following morning, I wake up before the alarm to loud door slamming and stomping around. I check out my window and I see the double parking culprit walking around both vehicles, taking pictures, texting someone, taking more pictures, and I'm shaking with glee. They then swallow their pride, let out a visual sigh, and climb into the passenger side, clambering over the center console, and Austin Powers 20-point turn their butts out of the spot. I've never been so proud of myself and my shitty, petty, passive-aggressive ways. Story 3. I caught my flatmate telling lies about me to some mutual friends. I made plans to move out the next month. In the meantime, she went out of town for a week and left her car parked in its usual spot in the parking lot. I threw birdseed on it every morning and evening, so when she came home, the birds wouldn't leave her car alone. Story 4. I have a friend whose pumpkin and fall display at the end of his driveway would be run over by the neighborhood jerk. Happened every year. My friend decided to put a stop to it. He withdrew money from his savings account so he would have enough to buy the largest pumpkin he could find, along with several large bars of Quikrete. Filled that puppy up and made a real pretty display. The jackass broke the axle of his shoddy car when he hit that pumpkin. Could not drive away. My friend had his car towed away, too. I have a similar story. When I was a kid, our mailbox got taken out like once a month. Finally, after the 10th mailbox and post, my dad was fed up, so we got an 8-foot I-beam and buried it 4 feet down and filled in the hole with Quikrete. Next time it got hit, the a-hole wrapped his car around it like the mailbox and pole was sticking out of the middle of his car. After that, the mailbox was never hit again. Story 5. My friend's Sprite kept getting stolen even though she wrote her name all over the can. Finally, after the 5th time it happened, she got a habanero, cut it open and rubbed it all over the top of the can and left it in the fridge. We found out who the thief was when that afternoon we hear the office drama queen shriek in her cubicle and run to the water cooler. She never stole anything again. My friend did some work for a guy who skipped his bill and never paid him. My friend is so petty he did many things, such as place fake for sale ads with too good a deal, like a nice boat for $1,000, and other numerous ads with the guy's number. Our city is big on garage sales. He posted ads like moving out sale, everything must go, cheap, will be held inside the house, just walk on in or ring the doorbell, then put this guy's address on the ad. He also signed him up for numerous free gym memberships and responded to things like car dealership ads with this guy's phone number. He did a lot more. That's just what I can remember. I don't know who I feel more sorry for. Story 6. I lived in an apartment with a roommate. We had neighbors who would throw crazy parties pretty frequently, oftentimes during the week. One day my roommate, who had been awake early, had enough and decided to piss on a metal pizza pan and stick it in the freezer. After a crazy party, he pulled the pan out and flipped it upside down, giving him a frozen disc of piss. He then slid that disc under their door where it would melt on their fully carpeted entryway. Woke up to them shouting at the people who crashed there about who pissed on the floor and what the fuck was wrong with them. Wish I could say that they toned down their parties, but they didn't and eventually got evicted. Story 7. My coworker sometimes throws out her lunch in the garbage can at my desk instead of her own because she claims she can't stand the smell of old ketchup that's been sitting out for a couple of hours. I've asked her several times to stop, but then she just walks away until I get up and go to the bathroom to do it and hide my garbage can under my desk so she thinks I won't see it. Every time she does it, I wait until she goes to the bathroom, take out the little plastic container that she had ketchup in, and put it way in the back of her bottom desk drawer. There's 6 in there now. The oldest is over a month old. So far, she hasn't noticed the smell. Gonna keep doing it to see how long it takes her to notice. Brilliant. I had a college roommate who would walk across the room to dump coffee grounds in my wastebasket instead of going into the trash can underneath the coffee maker or into the trash can in the hallway, which was still fewer steps than my trash can. It was weird, but I didn't say anything. Then one day I came back from class to find that she had dumped wet grounds into my trash and flung grounds and droplets of coffee all over a couple of my textbooks and pages of homework, which were still sitting a foot away. We were rarely in the room at the same time, so I left her a note. Please don't put coffee grounds into the trash can. Thanks. Then went off to another class. When I came back later, she had a full-blown meltdown over the note and how awful I am for sitting in the room and studying instead of constantly being out and socializing like she does. She yelled at me about how she can never have friends over. I quietly pointed out that I went back home every weekend and she had the room to herself. Somehow this devolved into her calling her mom and crying hysterically on the phone. I cracked open a book to study and ignored her while covering my ears to shut out her whining. When I uncovered an ear to free my hand to turn a page, I caught snippets of the conversation. It sounded like she was going nuts about everything, mainly me. All she does is study, but also dorm life and school. She switched dorm rooms later. Now that I think about it, I wonder if the coffee thing was some kind of petty revenge for me annoying her by studying. Who knows? College stress was definitely driving her insane, and I should have just gone somewhere else to study. Story 8. I used to manage a Starbucks when one of my baristas asked the guy his name and he just flipped the fuck out, belittling her, calling her stupid, etc., and didn't give a name. Anyway, I'd take over the handoff drinks and place his drink just on the handoff with no words. I'll add it was a busy store with a lot of people waiting. I just kept putting drinks out for about 10 to 15 minutes and douchebag walks up and picks up his drink that's now lukewarm and goes, "Is this mine?" I just respond with, "I don't know. It doesn't have a name on it." Story 9. Not me, but for my wife. When we were younger and kind of on hard times, she took a pretty shitty job at a local factory. The first 2 weeks she was there, she had her lunch stolen at least 5 or 6 times, even open drinks. I was pretty pissed. A lot of times I would grill for her or make her lunch, and she was going hungry. One night I bought a big-ass Gatorade and a box of those women's laxatives, both red in color. Couldn't tell the two were mixed, but we found out who the thief was.